Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. And so we tried Thanos tier 4 with a PvP build. I was not happy at all. However, I have since moved him over to a PvE build, and I am thankfully happy, much happier with my investment. But there are a few quirks that I want to talk about, namely what I thought was a bug with his tier 4 skill. So we'll talk about that in a little bit here. I'll show you guys actually what it looks like. But we got Power of Angry Hulk, stage 12. We've got still the +2 4-star artifact. We've got a mighty CTP of Rage. Now I know he was proc friendly, really good with energy, but ultimately we want to use him as a replacement for Loki and ABL. And that's what I want to, some of the things I want to showcase today. So that's why we gave him that with the 160 proc and the 0.9 increase. And then, of course, the mythic uniform. So the stats are looking like this. Pretty much everything is capped minus just a little bit of attack speed. But I actually want to push him further because, as you can see here, his build is still very PvP focused. Now, I am going to probably unequip these heal Odin's Blessings at some point when there's a discount. But in the meantime, what I wanted to do is replace one line of these HP Urus with something else, because realistically, and we're gonna go with the strike Odin's Blessings, realistically, if I have a rage on him, he's not gonna perform well in PvP, and replacing these with HP Urus later on down the road, unequipping them is pretty cheap. And in the meantime, I get a massive upgrade because each one is giving me 200, 300, 400, almost 500 physical attack each. So that's almost 2k physical attack, and then look at that, just under 80,000 physical attack, and that's without his leadership being taken into consideration. If we swap over to his lead, he's now rocking 94, almost 100k attack, and that's what you want to see, right? Because if you go over to Jean and you look, 80k with no lead, right? If you give her a lead, boom, she's at 100k. So yeah, it very quickly becomes a race to the top. So yeah, with this new equip, let's go and put him through his paces. One more thing I want to talk about before we get into the gameplay, because it's going to be harder to show you in the gameplay, is his tier 4. It doesn't seem like it has any hits. Now, when the striker comes in, they have their own hits, right? And you can see there Magneto, sure, he does his thing. But you're like, okay, it's just a glowy thing. It looks really cool, but look, it's not hitting them, right? You can see here, like, oh, it's not hitting them. It's not pulsating or whatever. And it's very confusing. Because if you go to other tier 4s that have a damage-based ability, especially it's very obvious on someone like Blue Dragon, you'll see that you can see the hits like very clearly, right? Okay, so Captain America is going to come in and do his hit, right? You can see he got his hit, but then you can see here, boom, 9, 12. You can see it, right? Like, okay, yeah, her tier 4 is definitely doing damage. And in the case of Blue Dragon, her tier 4 is the same scaling, right? 1000% of energy attack. So, you're like, oh, okay, Thanos, 1000% of your physical attack in this striker skill. And you can see there at the, 1000 energy damage, 1000% of physical damage. So you want to see that damage. The thing is, it's really weird. It all happens all at once. And I'll show you in a fight. All right, so here we go. We're going to go to one of the highest stages of gore I have unlocked. This is 59. And what I want you to pay attention to, I want you to pay attention to the damage, which, as you can see, is pretty solid. We get 2 bars on the first rotation, and Thanos, of course, being one of the tankiest people alive. But now what I want you to pay attention to is when the damage stops from his skills, right? I just want to show you this at the beginning. When his damage stops, we're going to just pop the... See? All the damage happens at the beginning. Sadly, it's not a lot of damage, right? Sadly, it's not that much damage, but you can see there, and that couldn't be from the striker, right? Magneto himself, my Magneto's only level 80. There's no way that Magneto would do that much damage with a striker skill. So it can be a little bit underwhelming, honestly. I'm not complaining. I'm not saying Thanos should get buffed. I'm just saying that some people might tier 4 him and then might play with his tier 4 and be like, I don't really see the hits. This is kind of confusing because that was what happened to me, and I was confused with that. But I actually want to try this stage out and see how fast we can clear it in real time without stopping to show you the tier 4, but I did want to stop to show you the tier 4 because oh, if I have the nice, it's like 3 bars. If I have the and the tier 4 adds a little bit of damage here, so we get, like, you can see it's a very consistent half a bar more, and then we pop off with the tier 3 as well. Nice. Very nice. And bro, he's so tanky. It's actually so crazy. You can You can freestyle a lot of Thanos' rotation as well. We just I haven't played this before. We just barely get to this phase. It's actually really good. I'll tell you something. This may not matter to a lot of players if they're just flying through stage 1 or whatever. But if you're trying to beat Gore and you're just barely missing this phase change before the sword fills up, so if you're going to the minion phase before this phase, it's actually substantially worse. I'll tell you why. After the minion phase, Gore is stunned, and you can unload almost 2 full rotations on him, like Ultron is stunned after optimization, etc., etc. If you have him at like 16.5 bars, and then he goes into the minion phase, and then he gets stunned, and then you unload your first rotation, you only get that half bar of damage before he triggers this phase automatically and becomes immune to damage. So then that's a massive, massive waste of all of your DPS. And you can actually lose a lot of time and then end up not being able to clear the fight. And you're like, I wonder why. Like, that's so weird. And that's why. So yeah, we're just gonna pop the tier 4. See, that's where it's really obvious. Like the tier 4 there just one-shotted that minion. That wouldn't be possible if the tier 4 wasn't doing damage. I'm not really healing a lot. It's kind of weird. I haven't seen Thanos this low health. I'm a little tiny bit worried, maybe. Where's my heal at? My heal do be wonky. Does he not have doesn't he have an active heal? What's going on? Where's my active heal? So you can see here, right? We're popping off. It's kind of weird. I don't seem to be healing with any of my skills. I swear he has a heal. Am I just crazy? Maybe I am. Oh, I don't know why I didn't pop off there. There we go. There's the heal. Is it just the get hit heal? Let's go. Let's go, baby. Pump. Yeah. Bro, 2 minutes face tanking 59. Crazy. Crazy good, bro. Really nice. Just completely face tanking. You know what's funny? Thor can do this stage, right? But he almost dies. Like, I have to play kind of carefully. And it's really nice to have a character, like basically a stronger version of Hulk, who can just face tank all of the mechanics and still has, like, I love how his fourth skill as well, like, tracks Gore, so that he sort of spin. If Gore dashes through me, Thanos spins around to go and find him. But yeah, we're just flying through this. That's so cool, dude. Tell me about it. You're dead. Sick. 212 left. Full face tank era Thanos. Absolutely love it. I want to do a quick little test here against Dormammu solo. I'm not a big fan of these solo clears because they're not indicative of the real difficulty with a full team. But I don't have the patience right now to find a full team. And I want this video to come out. So, yeah. We're going to wait here because we don't want to trigger his next phase until we're ready. We can't one-shot it anyways. Bummer. Okay, yeah, I wanted to one-shot it. I don't think I'm going to need to use the tier 3, though. Fun fact, once he drops the last orb row, you can actually just run in. So the flames won't hurt you. So fun fact on that. So, okay. 35-second phase 1. That's not bad. That's not bad. Again, this is the solo HP. So he's got a billion HP instead of 1.5 billion. So less HP. Okay, I think our rage proc was delayed. Oh, we don't have an insight either. I just realized. Jeez. Okay, maybe Shuri would have been a better option than Valkyrie, given that I get an insight from that. Okay. But yeah, this is like Hulk and like Jean. I don't have to pay attention to any of Dormammu's rotations. Like, I do not care what he's doing. It does not matter at all. It does not matter whatsoever. And we're just gonna fly through this last bit here. No shot. No. No. All right, so 8:20. So a minute 40 for GBR, not bad. Kind of hoping it was a little bit faster, but again, we had a little bit of bad luck not being able to skip the first phase, so I think we, lost some time there. I want to show you guys ABL now because there is a lot of mileage may vary, in my opinion, for Thanos. You can see there I just lost about 40,000 points due to getting hit by Surtur. Thanos is not an iframe for his main attack, his fourth skill. And so because of that, you lose a lot of points. You also have to wait quite long here to apply the shock on his... The fourth skill shock happens pretty early, so you don't want to pop the thing right away and then not be able to cancel, at least on shock season. On other seasons, it's a different story, but at least for shock season... you want to pay attention to that unless you have a tier 4 striker that can apply shock, and that's, again, a whole nother story. But yeah, because Thanos doesn't have an iframe there, he gets hit a lot. And because he gets hit a lot, your mileage will absolutely vary. I missed the third skill. Great. Your mileage will absolutely vary from player to player based on, your how well you can position, essentially. Right, because positioning is actually really important for ABL because of the damage the Surtur deals and the amount of points that he takes off. So yeah, being under 5 million right now is pretty bad as far as trying to hit 10. I'm probably not going to hit 10 with this run. That's fine. I didn't want to show you guys a perfect run. What I wanted to show you guys is that your mileage may vary. And that's what I've noticed with Thanos. And it happens to other characters too. You can get away with a little bit of the iframe on the first skill if you can see what Thanos is doing, during Surtur's attacks. But yeah, you really do need to delay this one here in order to... Ooh, I delayed it a little bit too much. But yeah, you don't want to... There I moved so that I could slam him, but now I gotta... Yeah, okay. No, we got out of the way. That was pretty good. Alright, let's unload here. I think he's a little bit hard. Like, what I would say is, despite being so tanky, etc., I think he is a little bit harder to play in a game mode like ABL than someone like a Black Bolt, because of the V pad skill. So underrated. So amazing, and very hard to replicate the value of. Yeah, this is a really bad run. You guys can see I'm like basically not racking up my score because I'm well, my rage isn't proccing and I'm getting hit a lot by Surtur. But you can basically, like, this is really a good example of your mileage may vary with Thanos. I still think he's good, don't get me wrong, but this is where I think he's going to fall short a little bit. Like, I can easily get 10 million. I can easily get 10 million with Black Bolt on my first try with the exact same team. And that's normally the team that I use for this day. I use Black Bolt. They both have shock, so they can both cancel without using a striker, a tier 4 striker, or a switch. But yeah, Black Bolt is an easy 10 million just because the V-pad skill allows you to always circle behind Surtur to not get hit. Thanos can hit 10 million. You just have to play a lot better, play a lot more consistently. Your procs have to be more consistent. So I feel like ABL, even though he's a lot better than he was before his rework, I feel like ABL is still a little bit of a weakness for Thanos. I wouldn't give him top marks for ABL the way that I would give Black Bolt and Jean Grey top marks for ABL. And someone like Dr. Octopus, I would give top marks for ABL. So yeah, that's the look. That's the little peek at his, PVE potential with a mighty rage. Hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for watching. Anniversary's around the corner. Smash the like button. It helps the channel out tremendously. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.